guys. So, of course, continuing on with the G.I. Joe line that we looked at last time, I have another figure that I found once again in Walmart, but that was also super hard to find initially. Now, kind of easy to get a hold of, and it is the Red Ninja, which is number 8 in the line. I forgot to point out the number last time. I think Cobra Commander is, number 6. So, this is number 8 in the line. We got a Red Ninja. Zero reference in my memory for what the Red Ninjas are. I know they're troops, and I do know that the Cobra Troopers were like a big deal. Like, they just had to have it. And it occurs to me there's no read up or anything on the characters, and that annoys me. It's kind of like the Power Rangers. But just in the box, it looks nice. This is a very nice looking thing, though. It looks like it's straight up from a video game. In fact, it looks like a Mortal Kombat character. He just looks like one of the things like Scorpion or Sub-Zero, which is kind of cool. I've heard really good things about this figure, but one of the better things about him is just the fact he comes with a buttload of weapons. Unfortunately, they're all black. I have no idea. The back is exactly the same as usual. No big deal. Maybe these are... I was thinking they were ranks, but I think this is like their power scaling situations. So the things that he's good at, like kicking ass and stabbing people, or karate, or throwing weapons. So I guess those would be specialties. Now, here's the thing. I know that these are referenced in the new game, and perhaps that's what these things are connected to. I don't know these things. I'm not playing the game. I'm just looking at the figures and stuff like that. And I haven't really watched any review of these figures because I was not interested in them. Technically speaking, I'm still not interested in them. I'm interested to look, not interested to keep. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I won't be keeping any of these. I will be selling them with packaging and as complete as they are. I just realized how heavy duty this is. Like, isn't heavy duty a character as well? So, alright, so let's go with initial out of the box things. He looks stubby. That's weird. Like, his legs look short and his torso looks long. He's got a whole lot going on his hip belt, but the implication would be that his legs kind of go up above that, but they don't. Either that or it's sitting up high. It might be that the belt is sitting high. It does look funny, I will say that. Arms look very nice. The molded chest armor and all that looks okay. It looks painted decent. And he's got sheaths that seemingly might be able to hold all his weapons at once. That will be cool, if he actually can. Okay, so he's got a couple things on there. He's got a holder on the back. So he's got two swords, two sais, two little... I don't know exactly. They're like ice picks. These guys, almost like little mini sickles. I don't know exactly what those are called. And then two hatchety axes. I gotta wonder if he can do that, because he's got one sheath here, probably for one of the swords. He's got a much longer sheath there, two pass-throughs, and then those things. And I know he's got two more holes back here. He might be able to store all the weapons. Might. So that'll be interesting if he really can. It looks like he's painted pretty decently. Looks like he could use a wash, though. So let's get a closer look at this Red Ninja and see if he's sneaky. You know, like ninjas usually are. Alright, guys. So let's take a closer look at Mr. Red Ninja, and we're gonna have to do a lot to get this out of the box, though of course the weapons are all black, so this is gonna suck to some degree. Okay, pull that out of there. The funny thing is, this feels like a toy from the 90s with just the sheer amount of single color extra weapons and stuff. Like, that just feels like a thing. So let's pull that out of there. Let's see here. The knives are held behind some terrible, terrible invisible force field. There we go. Appears to be some sort of force field. It's just tape. You dork. Okay, so this is one of those ones that makes me wish I still had my white background up from previous reviews. Because this is going to be hell. Especially filming these weapons. Also, totally feels like a Ninja Turtle figure with all that going on. Come on. Everybody out. Everybody out the thing. It's plastic birthday time. Come on. Come on. Okay, there we go. Ugh. Okay. Trying to be careful with things sucks. Because I don't want to damage anything. Because like I said, I'm not holding on to these figures. And this one in particular is seemingly going to my buddy Nate Simmons. Okay, so let's drop that skirt down and see if that helps anything. No. Aha! The infamous wobbly torso. I was definitely warned about that. Now, mind you, I haven't watched reviews. I've merely talked to friends. And that is the main complaint, is that a lot of these guys, especially these, have super wobbly torsos. So they have a ball joint down here at the base of the torso. So it is a ball joint underneath an ab crunch. And that is definitely bobblehead-like. So that sucks. Just looking at him, it feels cheaper than he should. The mix of paints and textures is strange. So we got some gloss black, but some kind of matte or semi-gloss kind of khaki color. And then matte black here, and then gloss black there. And there are black everywhere, black. Sorry, that's starting to come out really bad. I was trying to make a joke. Kind of scaled thing there, but that's shiny. This is matte. I don't understand the choices here. And then, of course, it's got two butt flaps, one for each of you. And then the boots are somewhere in between. Some partially shiny, some not. And then none of the red is shiny, so that's weird. The mask being shiny makes sense. The dead eyes, making him look like Scorpion, is different. This would be a fun repaint if you got rid of some of the extra stuff, like the actual Cobra logo, and then just sort of turned him into a Mortal Kombat ninja. That would be super cool. And the head sculpt is interesting. So he's got a ball joint up at the head. I don't know if there's a neck hole, but appears to be another ball joint at the base of the neck, so he can move his head around. You know, the collar and all that is soft rubber, soft plastic. Do all that number. And he's got his Cobra third eye going on there. Let's see here. Butterfly joint. Yes, no. Hard to tell. Yeah, it's there. Just behind everything. Painted red armor on the shoulder there. I'm trying to just get his shoulder to come up. There we go. So he can get out to 90. Can rotate, but that's totally in the way and, you know, fairly well annoying for a ninja person. Bicep rotation, double jointed elbows, feels flimsy. Actually feels like a Bandai figure. And not a good Bandai figure. Okay, so he's got a holding hand that has wrist tilt, which means probably for stabby items. He doesn't come with any different hands, right? Looking around, no new hands. So he only comes with either trigger holding hands, which he has no guns, or just whatever type. But they are sword or weapon holding hands because they tilt. And then let's just talk about it. Look at the torso here. So what? Oh, he has drop down hips. Okay. Is that what's going on? This hip is dropped down and it shouldn't be. Yeah, because he can do like a perfect Jean-Claude. Let's see here. Does the hip scooch? That one did. This one might not. Okay, so even with the hips pushed all the way up, and let's pull the skirt down as low as it'll go and see what happens. It looks better, but They're wrong. The legs look stubby. They should be up here. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, okay, so his belt line, let's look at it this way. So his belt line is right here. By the way, nice molded stuff going on under there. So in theory, this goes right there, but that shows the top of his legs just hanging out there. That's just wrong. Just the proportions are way off. I don't like that at all. Okay, so you can rotate at the ball joint of the hip. He does have thigh rotation as well. Nicely sculpted stuff going on there, but it's all the same color, so it almost doesn't matter. He does have different painted kneecaps, so that's one thing. Okay. Ow! Be wary of that. Okay, does he have boot cut? Oh, at least he's got the boot cut. That's good. That's real good, actually. Okay, so paint there, paint there. Greaves look okay. Toe point. I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's an action figure. It's basically what we got going on here. And then let's compare him, because he is a Cobra person, to his commanding officer. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember the Red Ninjas at all. So I don't know. They're definitely not a new thing, but I don't remember them. So, see the difference? Wobble, wobble, wobble. No wobble. Wobble. Okay. Okay, so he does have this back sheath thingy. 2 holes in that. And this will plug in back here. I don't know how. Oh, it's not lined up. Okay, I was like, man, that is just not going. Thought it was just me. No, it's actually just crooked. You got to line that up to the hole. I assume that should be tilted because I don't know any different. Okay, so let's go over his weapons and then we'll find the places to put them as we go. Okay, so he's got a super long sword. Looks like a cavalry. There we go. Style sword. I forgot what that is called. Little serrated edge there. Super long wrap here. Incredibly boring because it's all one color. So it may as well be a hockey stick for all we know. He can hold that, presumably. Yep. Can he two-hand it? Probably, but I'm not gonna hold my breath necessarily. Okay, so let's see if he can two-hand it without really bending anything. Sort of. Yes, he can. So, I mean, any kind of paint for the blades would have been appreciated. Now let's just find out where this one goes, because I have no clue. Let's see. I don't think it's going to go through here, but we'll find out. It technically does. Whether that's where that goes, I don't know offhand. We'll leave it there for the time being. Okay, so we have what is definitely more of a katana or an ninjato. Interesting. Once again, no paint. Decent mold. And in theory, this one potentially goes down here. That seems to fit pretty snugly. I figure the big long one would probably be a hindrance if it was at his side, so that makes more sense to put on the back. I don't know if that's where it's supposed to go. That's just where I'm putting it. Okay. So, whoa, hey. So now we've got like little mini sickles or ice picks or something. It's got okay molding. Once again, 0 paint, just all black. And he's got 2 of those. Now I have no clue at all where these should go. So I'm gonna make an assumption and just put them here. You know, that's kind of cool. I have no idea if that's where they go, but that's where I'm gonna put them. Now, what's interesting is these are 2 different sizes, so we'll see what's going on there. Okay, so he's got some sai, very Raph-like in nature. Decent enough sculpt. See if you can hold them. I know I didn't really try with previous weapons, so let's see. Once again, no paint, and that is a giant mistake. Like, how do you get here? Do not do that. These don't look like they go with him, other than the fact that they are ninja weapons or ninja tools. They really don't appear to go with him. No clue where those are supposed to go. So let's look at his little axes or hatchets. Where's the focus? So there we go. Those aren't bad. A couple different types of wraps. See if you can hold it. See, those have holes in them, so that makes me believe that like there's pegs they should hook on. So that's good. Those can do the thing, but let's figure out where they're supposed to go, shall we? I'm gonna take a stab at this, no pun intended. Let's say these go back here. I have no proof of that, but let's just say they go back there. But then there's nowhere for these to go at all. Like, unless there was a way to hang them. So either there's no way for him to hold these, or there's nowhere for him to put these. You know, it's one of those things. Like, okay, why are you giving him more weapons than he can technically store? You know, is he going to use every weapon at every turn? No, he is not. So, what the heck? I don't even know if these would go in any. I'm assuming that this configuration is pretty much right. This makes the most amount of sense back here. Those make the most amount of sense up there. But there's literally, like, there's a big slot there that would be a good tab hole. There's a hole in the other thing, which looks like that would be a great place to put stuff. So I don't know. I think as it goes, I get why people probably like this, but it's definitely not for me. The proportions are super wonky, especially with these drop-down hips that won't stay. The torso that's wobbly and way too long. And then just either ill-equipped or just not enough substance. Like, it could look really good, and I feel like they were about 2 steps away from getting there, and then they just said, okay, that's good enough. One thing they're definitely lacking is a wash. There's so much detail, especially like on these pants and on his mantle area, that a wash would definitely bring out. There's not even anything like any kind of dry brushing, nothing on any of the weapons. They don't stand out. They're all just solid black, which is very boring to say the least. And just the fact that he doesn't have weapon storage for all of his weapons is just incredibly short-sighted. I'm just double checking, making sure there's nothing I've missed, but I don't think there is. So, I mean, that's about as good as this guy gets. So, and I'm sure it's controversial to talk crap about a G.I. Joe figure. I don't care, because, you know, I don't really have that much invested in these. Not planning on keeping it. Like I said, this one's going to Nate, so I don't even have to worry about it. He can figure out what he wants to do with it in the future. But guys, let me know if you have any similar issues with yours. How bobbly is it? If you have one, how much of a bobblehead does he have? And of course, are you in for the whole line? Do you need to get every figure, especially with the Cobra troop building aspect that we have, where it's either got the Cobra troopers or now red ninjas? And the only thing I think, like the Joes, I don't know that they have endless troops like Cobra has. So, but yeah, I think this guy is just not as good as it could be. But I'll catch you guys later. Remember, as always, keep on nerding.